morning I was like, I'm still dead. They're still dead. This Brendan's in the back.
Yes, sorta. Good morning, warriors. It is the first Monday of spring. How are you? Right? Please join me in the pledge to the Bible. I pledge allegiance
To the Bible, God's holy word.
I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will hide its words in my heart, that I might not sin against God. Please join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We've been working on our catechism leading up to the fall of man. So we're going to ask, in the covenant of life, what did God require Adam to do? What did God promise in the covenant of life? If he obeyed God perfectly. What did God threaten in the covenant of life? To punish Adam with death if he disobeyed God. Did Adam keep the covenant of life? No, he sinned against God. Thank you. We're going to talk about obedience this morning. Going over some ways that make school a better place. We're going to go over our school rules this week. Obey. Fear God. Honor others. Do your work. Do everything. Thank you. Today we're going to talk about obeying right away, all the way with a happy heart. And my question is, why do we need the happy heart part? Why can't we just obey right away? Why do we need the happy heart part? Okay, right there. We would. That would cause us to grumble. Olivia? Okay, so we need to care about what we're obeying. Okay, let's see. Lauren. Okay, if we didn't obey, we wouldn't be very happy, would we? Thank you. So I'm going to talk really quickly about 3 different reasons why we obey. So the first reason why we obey is a prideful reason. It's called prideful obedience. And this is kind of like the Pharisees in the Bible. You know, they were always walking around saying, look at me, I follow all the rules, I'm wearing the right clothes, I took a bath, all of those things. And that prideful obedience is when we obey just to show that maybe we're better than someone else, or just for someone to tell us, oh, you did a good job. And we can all be guilty of that sometimes. So that's being obedient just out of our own effort and not out of trusting God. And then there's a second kind of obedience, and this is kind of a big word. It's called begrudging obedience. Does anybody, maybe a big kid, know what begrudging means? Doesn't sound like a happy word, does it? Begrudging. Okay, Carter? That's right. Okay, so that's when you are just saying, Yes. Okay, I want everybody to go, ugh. That's the best way to explain begrudging. It's like when you're told to do something and you go, okay. So we do it just to avoid getting in trouble. And that's not always a good reason to obey. So it's kind of like Jonah. First, he avoided being obedient to God, and then he finally went to Nineveh, but he did it begrudgingly. He just went, okay, fine, let's get this over with. And he thought, this is never going to work. So it is not submitting our heart. It is not telling God, yes, I want to please you. We usually do it because we don't want to disappoint somebody, or we don't want to get in trouble, or we don't want God to be disappointed in us. And that's not a reason at all. And the third kind is heartfelt obedience. So it's choosing to believe. This is the important thing I want you to remember. Heartfelt obedience is choosing to believe that Jesus loves you even more than you love yourself, and he knows what is best for you. And so he puts people in your life to lead you, to give you tasks to do, so that you will be faithful in the little things, so that God will help you be faithful in the big things. So if you know truly in your heart that Jesus loves you even more than you love yourself, then you will want to be obedient with a happy heart. So let's remember that today. Be joyful when you're asked to do something. Now we are going to be joyful because Christ arose. Today we're going to obey. Because Jesus loves you even more than you love yourself. The Lord be with you.